History over the death of Alexander the Great may have finally been solved, and his passing was an unimaginable one than historians had ever predicted. Hi folks, today we shall talk about the possible cause of Alexander the Great death. Just click on the subscribe and like button. So everyone, from historians to probably you, might have known that Alexander the Great died from perhaps poison or natural death, alcohol, or out of any possible reasons. Up until now, the mystery has just been unveiled. His death may have been the most famous case of false diagnosis of death ever recorded. One of the greatest benevolents in history, Alexander the Great, used a succession of fierce military conquests to create the greatest empire the ancient world had ever known. At the age of 25, Alexander set out on a course to conquer the world. His army overcame great difficulties to crush the Persian territories of Asia Minor, Syria, Egypt, Pakistan, without suffering a single defeat. When Alexander the Great died in Babylon in 323 BC, the body showed no sign of death, which is according to historical accounts. Speculation started to emerge. Was he sabotaged, destroyed? Had his excessive alcohol consumption killed him? Contemporary historians offered their own perspective centuries later. Maybe he was a victim of malaria, maybe typhoid fever or pneumonia. Perhaps he was murdered after all. We all know today that when a person's body temperature cools down within a few hours after death of a person, the blood cells causes discolorization in the skin. At the same time, the body becomes stiff, making it difficult to move. Ancient Greeks were aware that the human body behaved differently in death than therefore there was only one explanation available to Alexander the Great's contemporaries for why his body appeared to remain intact for 6 days during his death in 323 BC. The majority of them said he was a god. The majority of the ideas regarding Alexander's death have concentrated on the liver and stomach ache. He had a researcher and licensed doctor speculates that Alexander's demise may have been brought on by a neurological condition, Guillain-Barré syndrome. She further contends that for the mere reason that Alexander wasn't yet dead, people may not have observed any earlier indication of decomposition on the body. Maybe the most famous case of false diagnosis ever recorded. His illness is said to have begun after a vicious night of drinking in which he drank 12 pints of wine. Alexander complained of fatigue and generalized aches the next morning, but chose to power through another dose pints of wine. Achieved the Hellenistic age between 323 and 31 BC. The Hellenistic age is the age of science, math, and Alexander did so well to spread all his ideas, which was the Greek idea, throughout the world, and people began to take their kids to school to learn about all these things. That was just how Alexander the Great made his empire so great and made his ideas to spread across the world.